for the definition of differentials, so recalling from the limit definition of derivatives, so you have seen this graph already. So if we're going to have a point P here and point Q here, so if we want to get the derivative of the function y equals f of x, okay, with respect to x at this specific point, so we need to have this point Q get nearer and nearer to point P such that the change in x is approaching zero. So from a secant line, so we now have this line tangent to the curve at this point P. So we labeled this change in y as delta y and change in x as delta x. So from the limit definition of derivatives, so it's the limit of the change in y over change in x as change in x approaches zero. Okay, that's what we call derivative of y with respect to x. So if we're going to consider a very small change, okay, already, so as a result of letting this delta x approach zero, so its effect is also a change, a very small change in the y value of the function. So as you can see, okay, so from this point, so if we're going to have this tangent line already, okay, so the y value is being reduced to this point here. So if we're going to put a point there, and then if we let this change be approaching zero as well, okay, so we can put another point here. And let's say we label these points using letters R and T respectively. Okay, so we call this small change in y, okay, brought about by letting the change in x or delta x approach zero. So its effect is we label it as dy, okay, or we call differential of y. And our dx would be just the same as delta x. Okay, so this is still the change in the x coordinates. Okay, so even if we let the second line approach or being changed into a tangent line, so the change in x is still the same. So we label this as our dx. So dy is read as differential of y, our dependent variable, and dx is read as differential of x, okay, where x is our independent variable. So if we're going to get this triangle here formed using the 3 points, namely P, R, and T, so from the applications, geometric applications of derivatives, we know that the slope of this tangent line is equal to the angle, okay, is formed between this, okay, horizontal line and this hypotenuse, okay, or a part of the tangent line. So let's say we label it as theta. So from trigonometry, tangent theta is opposite over adjacent side. So this line segment RT is opposite to angle theta, and the adjacent side to theta is this line segment PR. Okay. And again, we know the tangent theta is the derivative, okay, of the function at this point P. So we can write this as y prime, and the right side is still the ratio of RT to PR. So if we're going to multiply or to arrange the expressions, so we get PR, or rather RT, is equal to y prime times PR. Okay, and our line segment RT is labeled dy, or differential of y, and then the line segment PR is labeled differential of x. So we can write this equation as the differential of y is equal to y prime times the differential of x. So the differentiation formulas, if you multiply the result of the differentiation process by a differential of the independent variable, then you get the differential of the dependent variable. So from the previous slide, so it's dy is equal to the derivative of the function with respect to, usually use x for the independent variable and then multiplied by the differential of x, right? So our differentiation formulas are now being transformed into what we call differential formulas. So we simply um, um, just by looking at the formula, so it's sort of we are just putting the denominator, quote unquote, okay, of the dy dx notation to the other side of the equation. But take note, okay, of the meaning, no, the difference in the meaning of derivative of y with respect to x. And we usually write as dy over dx, but it's read as dy dx, so that we are not confused with the meaning, okay, of that notation. So as explained in the previous slide, so dy dx or the y prime is the derivative of y with respect to x. So it's the limit of delta y over delta x as delta x approaches 0. While for differential of the dependent variables, it's the product of the derivative of that dependent variable with respect to the independent variable multiplied to the differential of that independent variable. Okay, so if we have this basic differentiation formula, okay, that derivative of c, okay, a constant multiplied to a function of x, now we label as u. If you differentiate it with respect to x, so we copy the constant, right, and then multiply it with the derivative of the function, okay, with respect to x. So it's as if that we are just putting the dx to other side of the equation. But take note, we are not multiplying, okay, the entire equation by the dx, which is part of the derivative notation. Okay, take note. So the ratio dy to dx is another thing. Okay, so as explained in the previous slide, okay, so there's a difference no, between the two, derivative and differential. Okay, so if we have this trigonometric function sine of u, so its differential is equal to cosine of u multiplied by the differential of u. Exponential functions, then for e to the u particularly, so it's e to the u multiplied by the differential of u. Okay, so for example, so we have here a trigonometric function. Okay, so the 2 here, take note, is for x plus 4 only and not the entire sine of x plus 4 is being squared. Although in our calculator, okay, so syntax would be after pressing the trigo function sign and putting the function, if you press squared, then it means that the entire sine function is being squared. But take note, okay, that's for calculators only. So for this one, so from PEMDAS, okay, so it should be exponentiation first. Okay, so meaning we get, so we're going to write this in a more complete notation format. Okay, so it's sine of the square of x plus 4. Okay, so in finding the differential of y, okay, that are dependent variable, so from the differentiation of sine of u, it's cosine of u, right? So it's cosine of x plus 4 quantity raised to the power of 2. And don't forget that our u here is still a square of x plus 4, which should also be differentiated, okay, by using power rule. So you need to multiply this by 2 and then x plus 4 raised to the power of 1, okay, and then multiplied by 1, right, for the derivative of x plus 4. And then this entire expression is now to be multiplied by the differential of the independent variable, which is x. Okay, if we're going to arrange, we can also multiply 2 and x plus 4. So para we don't need to use many grouping symbols, so we can put the polynomial here. So that's 2x plus 8, and then the trigonometric function here. Okay, and then the differential of x. So this is now the differential of y. Okay, so another one. This time our dependent variable is a. So this is the equation for getting the area, okay, of surface area, okay, of sphere, or pi, no, r squared. So it's dependent on the radius. So to find the differential of a, okay, so just use the differentiation formulas. So take note that 4 pi is a constant. So 4 pi multiplied to the exponent 2 is 8 pi. Okay. And then r squared becomes r. And don't forget to multiply the result by the differential of r. Okay. Where r is the independent variable. So this is the answer. Okay, so another example would be y is equal to the product of x and cosine of 4x. So we have two different functions, a polynomial and a trigonometric function. So we need to use product rule here. Okay, so to get the differential of y, so just use the differentiation formulas and just put later the differential of x. Okay, so using product rule, so we have x times the derivative of cosine of 4x, which is negative 4 sine of 4x. Okay, and then plus cosine of 4x multiplied by the derivative of x, which is 1. Okay, and then this entire expression, there are two terms from product rule, so make sure to put them in grouping symbols, and then you write the differential of x. Okay, if we remove the parentheses here, so we have negative 4x sine of 4x, and then plus cosine of 4x, and these two terms are multiplied to the differential of x to get differential of y. And another example would be for p and h. So if we're going to solve for differential of p, so we need to use quotient rule here. So quotient rule is we copy the denominator, right? And then multiply it to the derivative of the numerator, which is just 1. Okay, and then minus the numerator multiplied to the derivative of 1 plus 2h, which is 2. Okay, and then all over the square of the denominator. And since we're getting the differential of p and not the derivative of p with respect to h, we need to put the differential of h here. Okay, and then if we simplify our answer, so that's 2h for this term minus 2h. So 2h minus 2h, it's 0. So that's basically just 1 in the numerator. Okay, and then multiplied by dh. So we can put the dh here in the numerator. And then for the denominator, okay, that's the square of 1 plus 2h for our differential of p.